Hi everyone, and I thought I'd give Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest a run, especially after fellow YouTuber John Gage had a go at it during his live stream in early May of 2020. Now, unlike him, I'm actually playing it on a genuine Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So let's get this bit of bad boy started. Now this is the third in the trilogy that appeared on the Super Nintendo, and current opinion is this is the best of the three. Gameplay Galleon. Now anyone who's played the first game will know pretty much how it works. As most of the basic controls are very similar, although there are a couple of additional things you can do in this game that you couldn't do in the previous game. So Gangplank Galleon is actually the first of the levels with some sub-levels in it. As you can see, Diddy Kong takes centre stage this time. Last time he was playing second fiddle to Donkey Kong. As you can see, Captain K. Rool has kidnapped Donkey Kong. Now Captain K. Rool's the main baddie who was at the end of the first game. And that red balloons give you an extra life. So you can walk around holding down the Y button allows you to not only cartwheel, but if you keep it held down while you move about, you can actually break into a run. And I'm going to show you something you can do in this which you couldn't do in the previous game. Now, the Kong with me is Dixie Kong, who's Diddy Kong's girlfriend. That's not letting me do it for some reason. There you go. If you press the A button when you've got both Kongs, you can actually put the other Kong on top of you, and you can actually throw them. And that's actually how you can reach some things that would otherwise be out of reach. That's a coin I've just picked up. That actually comes in handy later. As before, you get the letters spelling out the word Kong. Collect all 3 letters in a stage, then you get an extra life. Now here's another bit where you can press A, and that's how you get that coin. And now this is a halfway barrel. If I lose a life before the end of the level, I'll go back to the halfway barrel, whereas otherwise I would have gone right back to the beginning of the stage. A hidden bonus level. The Creme coin. He's our friend Rambi, who you may remember from the first game if you ever played it. He's just as badass here as he was in that, plus he's got an extra move which I'll show you in a moment. Now see those bananas pointing to the left there? Using Rambi's supercharge move, which he'll hold down A, and then when he's fully revved up, release secret level. Destroy them all. I have to defeat every single enemy in this stage. that DK coin there is also known as one of Cranky Kong's hero coins. To fully complete a stage, you have to have successfully completed all of the bonus levels and picked up the hero coin. There's a no Ramby sign there. You can't continue with him beyond that point. And the idea of this is to actually you land on the target from such a height that the barrel actually jumps high enough to be able to pick up whatever's at the top, when you land on it. If I go back, that's the level I've just done. As you can see, there's an exclamation mark after the level name and the DK. The exclamation mark shows that I found and completed all of the bonus levels in the game, and the fact that there's a hero coin there shows that I picked up the hero coin. That stage is now totally 100% complete. Now for Main Brace Mayhem. He's Click Clack. Although he's an enemy as well, you can use him as a weapon. And I'm going to switch to Dixie because Diddy can't really do this next bit so easily. As you can see, there's a selection of barrels pointing in a right pointing arrow over there. Here's Dixie Kong's helicopter spin. She can traverse long distances thanks to that, and can slow down the rate of descent when she's descending from a jump. Yeah, I just use Click Clack as a weapon there. I just lost a life there. Oh, goodness me, that wasn't very good. I haven't played this for a while, I have to admit. No, I don't need to do that bonus level down there because I completed it first time. If I hadn't got the coin, then that would have been, at the end of it, then that would have been a different matter, but I did. Oh, for goodness sake. easier for me later. Now notice that stray banana by itself up there. Sometimes that can be hiding something a bit more interesting. Oh. Now I've just picked up a cannonball. Now, if you find a cannon, then it'll lead to another bonus level. I didn't complete it. I hit that enemy. I'm going to go back and get that cannonball. We'll have another go. Sometimes you can have another go. Other times you might only get one chance without having to see the whole level again. I picked Dixie for when I was below them because she holds the barrels above barrels in the like above her head. So whereas Diddy holds them in front of him, which isn't really ideal for that. That banana that was just up on that brace was there, and was also highlighting the fact there's a bonus level here. There are never more than 3 bonus levels in a stage, so this is definitely the last of the 3. This one I have to collect all the stars. And there's the hero coin. You can see both characters have different victory poses when they complete the level. Monkey Museum is where you find Cranky Kong. Anyone who's played the first game will also recognise him. And then, if you get through some of the levels and you need help trying to find some bonus levels, then in specific levels, then he can dish out some hints. As you can see, some of his hints are free, others require you to use those banana coins that you've been collecting throughout the levels. Not the creme coins in the bonus levels, the coins with bananas on them. As you can see in the top left corner, I've currently got 5. Yeah, you may remember I actually did the team throw at the start of that first level, which is how I was able to collect all those bananas that were just out of reach by uncovering that blasting barrel, which was invisible until I actually threw Dixie into it. Main Brace Mayhem, that's the level I've just done. Jump for joy when crossing the longest horizontal rope. I wouldn't sort of call it jumping for joy, but there you go. So he doesn't give away everything, but he can still tell you. He can tell you a thing or two about where there might be hidden bonus levels. Other times it's just a case of, like I did, looking for stray bananas that seem to be just there and potentially hiding something. Leave museum, I think. again, exclamation mark, and it's showing the hero coin. So that level 2 is, that stage 2 is also totally fully finished. Gangplank Galley. Bonus level 1 of restart there. Never, if you see something that you might be able to climb up like those barrels, it's wise to investigate just in case there's a bonus level or even a hero coin. I had to be very careful not to jump too high, otherwise I would have gone straight into that red zinger. Dixie's spin attack can also be used like Diddy's cartwheel and can take out enemies. In fact, there are some enemies later on that can only be taken out that way. Using Dixie's helicopter spin to go down slowly. Now that baddie at the top is called Cruncher. It's not safe to touch him, otherwise he turns super angry. And then if you touch him while he's red, then you lose a life or lose a com, depending on whether you've got your partner with you or not. More Crunchers. See, that's what happens if you jump on Cruncher. Normally, if you touch him while he's red, then you're done for. Exclamation mark barrels invincibility. Of course, you can touch Cruncher while he's doing that, but you'll still die if you fall off the bottom of the playing area. I had to throw him because I can't touch Crunch. I really needed that invincibility, but it wore out before I could use it properly. I do like the parallax scrolling in this game. As you can see, although I managed to find and complete all of the bonus levels in Gangplank Galley, one thing I didn't manage to find and collect was the hero coin. So that's why there's no encircled DK to the right of the level name in this case. Now, this Kong College is where you can meet Cranky Kong's wife, Wrinkly Kong. Yes, that really is her name, so as you can see there. And she gives general tips on things like how to control, how to do certain things in the game, and allows you to save. Now, the first time you save a game, it's free, but second and subsequent visits within that particular world will cost you a couple of banana coins. about the targets that you land on at the end of the level. As you can see, you have to jump from a sufficient height to be able to get the prize that's at the top of the barrel chute. Again, as with Cranky's tips, some of them you have to pay coins for. Lockjaw's Locker. As you may remember from the first Donkey Kong game, there are some levels that were underwater. But Donkey Kong Country 2 introduced levels for the first time which are partly in water and partly not in water. Whereas in the first game, levels either were in underwater or they weren't. What happens is you gradually sink if you don't counteract the Kong's movement by pressing the button you normally use to jump. And you can still swim faster by holding the same button that you normally use to dash and pick up and hold barrels and the like. That's Flotsam. And there's Lockjaw, the piranha. If he starts to snap, then you mustn't be at the place where you were when he started snapping, because otherwise he'll get you. And here's Animal Buddy on guard. Now, unlike when you're not on guard, you don't have to counteract. You don't have to counteract constantly sinking. You can just use the directional pad to control him. And if you take a hit while on an Animal Buddy, then you don't actually lose a Kong, but you do momentarily get dismounted from. Now look here, the letter A in bananas plus a solo banana up against that box there. Could it be hiding a secret room? Yes, it could. So always look out for clues like that as to where there may or may not be a hidden level. There's the coin up there. Another creme coin for the collection. There's some great music in this game. The No On Guard song. There's the halfway checkpoint barrel. Shuri. Not too difficult to avoid at times, but it can be a bit unpredictable. He's on guard again. friendly neighbourhood swordfish. Another level's totally finished. This Swanky's bonus bonanza. In this one you get asked questions about the game and Swanky. What is the first enemy you see in the game? It was a furry rat. What's the name of this area of the island? That's Gangplank Galleon. And now you've got a red balloon which gives it 1 extra life. So you can pick up extra lives and the like in his quizzes. Top sail trouble. Here's another animal buddy, Rattly the rattlesnake. He's very good at jumping into the wind, and he's also got a super jump which is charged up the same way as On Guard's super stab and the same way as Ramby's an A in brackets because I'm Cruncher. Now, as you can see, Rattly can jump on Cruncher. Normally, if you haven't got an animal buddy, you can't do that. Oh. Bonus level. Ooh, that was close. Oh, crikey, that was close. Oh, N. Another hidden bonus level, accessible via a hidden hook in those 2 flitters. I only have to find the token, I don't have to kill the flitters. Bear in mind, although the flitters are quite handy as you sort of actually reach the bonus level, they are still enemies, so be careful how you actually land on them. Oh. Just going back to get this barrel so I get Dixie back. There's something up there, but I don't think I can get to it without having both comms. Oh, there's nothing up there. There's Funky's Flights too. Now you may remember in the first game there was Funky's Flights where you could actually go between the worlds, and it's exactly the same thing here. Well, we don't actually need to hire a plane at the moment because there's nowhere to actually go to, because we haven't actually finished this in the world. We can't actually go and we can't actually go to the others because we haven't unlocked them. And here's the first boss, Crow's creepy crow in the crow's nest. Now you've got to wait for these eggs to stop, and then you just use them. What I can use. I can only use the ones that actually land on the masks. Oh, darn it, that other egg destroyed the one I was trying to use against Crow. And he is defeated. Now, I've unlocked the next World Crocodile Cauldron. Before I do anything, I'm just going to go back to Wrinkly.com and save my progress. Now, she'll charge for it this time, because I've already saved at that particular college previously. Now I can use Funky's flights to take me back to Crocodile Cauldron. And this is how I get back to Crocodile Cauldron and continue from where I left off. Ooh, look, there's a darker chest up there. It's very easy to miss. Clamp on. Remember I said that you can actually roll into or cartwheel into some enemies where you must not do that with clamp on. You either jump on him or throw something at him, but definitely do not roll or cartwheel into him. Cannonball, remember I said earlier, if there's a cannonball then there's a cannon leading to a bonus level. This tube is actually one of my favourites in the whole game. Hothead Bop it's called. Not to be confused with the name of this level, which is Hothead Hop. Collect the stars. And here's another animal buddy, Squitter the spider. And pressing the Y button is indicated by those arrows. That's his actual main weapon, and you can direct it upwards or downwards with the directional pad. Squitter can't jump on enemies, so don't even bother trying. He'll just come off worse every time. I'm just going to dismount this. There is another way I could have done that, but I didn't. Now, if you use the shoulder buttons L and R, you can actually make web platforms. You press it once to set one off. You can direct it just like the regular weapon version of the web. And when it's in the right place, you press either the shoulder buttons again, and it gives you a platform you can use. But bear in mind, the platform doesn't last forever. It does wear off after a little while. And you'll know when it's about to wear off because it'll start to shake and shudder. See, bananas leading upwards. Bonus level. If you're adept with the L and R buttons, you can actually press one quickly in succession after the other and make platforms directly above you like I did there. Another bonus level. That's a bonus level I've just done, so I don't need to do it again. And here's the no squitter sign. Clubber's kiosk. I'll show you what this is. We can't do anything about it yet though. There's Clubber. I wouldn't say it was an enemy per se, but if you don't have enough of the creme coins, which I don't, because as you can see there, I need 15 creme coins to cross over, and that golden barrel will take the coins to somewhere called the Lost World, but only if you have enough creme coins to pay. So I don't have enough, and you can't fight him; he's too strong. Cannon's Claim. Now, Cannon is actually just the enemy clump from the first game, but with a cannon. Another arrow pointing to the right there. Again, as ever, it should be investigated whenever you see a clue like that. As you can see, only the characters shown on the barrel can use these particular ones. So if you try and go in a Diddy barrel and you'll Dixie, or vice versa, then you'll just fall straight through it as if it wasn't there. Ooh. As well, I fell all the way back to the beginning of the level because I needed Dixie. There we got the O. Halfway barrel. You can't touch Zinger the Wasp, otherwise he'll just hurt you. He's covered in spikes. Damn it, bonus level. Just needs her helicopter, Dixie's helicopter spin to get into that barrel. Zinger. Oh. Oh, I made the same mistake. You can see how the game works. John and I hope that if you ever try it again, you'll get even more enjoyment out of it. I know when you did your live stream, you couldn't actually tell which button was the A button because you were using a different controller to the one you'd be using if you were using a regular Super Nintendo. But the best way to figure it out is to simply try, when you've got both Kongs, try pressing any button that you haven't already tried, and if you find the one where one gets on the shoulders of the other, then you've found the equivalent of the A button. And you can potentially, if you ever get Squitter, then you can potentially try and see which ones replicate the shoulder buttons. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that, and that this video is giving you the impetus to try this game again and perhaps get even further in it than you did doing your live stream, because it really is a cracking game. In fact, all three of the Donkey Kong Country games on the Super Nintendo are classics. It's just that a lot of people I know seem to think that this second one is the best of the three, but there still doesn't take away from what's in the other two. Anyway, I'll end this clip now, so see you later and stay safe.